My name is Sean Jimenez, and welcome to my webinar called How to Get Leads and Sales 7 Times Faster and Cheaper with Digital Marketing. Before we begin, I'm going to ask everybody to put your name in the chat box to the right, just so we can see who we're talking to. All right, that's awesome. Cool, we got a lot of people here today. And also, if you can please put the city that you're from, that would be amazing as well. Cool. While those pour in, let's kind of jump right in and tell you a little bit more about what's going to happen today. So basically, I'm going to tell you my story of how I went from eating canned beans, literally, in my broken down rental house that I was living in Burnaby, to driving a Tesla in under 2 years through digital marketing. And I did that right here, being Vancouver based. And in that time, how I did that, there was like one main secret that I learned, which led me to create 2 7-figure businesses actually throughout the course of 2 years, actually more like 2.5 years, but we'll kind of jump in. So who this is for? Established business owners who need to move online and are not sure how to. So if you have a business and you've been operating for a while and you've seen a shift in consumer habits, as well as just the same marketing you were doing before isn't working, you need to get online, then this is definitely for you. If you're a solo entrepreneur or professional, so like a lawyer, accountant, plumber, electrician, surgeon, realtor, if you're in construction, if you build homes, if you do framing, anyone that's kind of looking to get more clients. People thinking of starting a business and aren't exactly sure what to do. This might help you figure out how to jumpstart that, as well as people who sell products online and want more traffic and sales. So that's e-commerce. And lastly, people who simply want to get better at marketing and sales. Perhaps you have a job working at a company and you're just looking for some support with, or like your boss has asked you, hey, how can we grow this? And you're looking for some support of where to start. This is definitely for you. So in the next 45 minutes, I'm going to share the 3 online pillars that are essential to success of any business. Okay, we're going to talk about that. How marketing can be automated so you can make money while you sleep. Not just money, but just how you can automate your marketing. Nowadays, there's so many different touch points out there, so it's important that you set some things so they can run autopilot. Also, why most people's perspective about Google and social media is backwards, and what you need to do first to drive more traffic and sales, okay? The wake-up call that made me realize I was leaving 80% of my revenue on the table as a business owner. And really, that's by figuring out, where do you spend 80% of your time? Is it in the right place or is it in the wrong place? So we'll talk about that as well. Finally, how to exponentially increase your revenue without increasing traffic by single visitor. So we're going to start to talk about conversion. How you can win at digital marketing with little to no experience. So you don't need to be a seasoned vet or even need to be that savvy with a computer in order to implement a lot of the tactics that I'm going to show you today. Marketing is the most important person. Marketing to the most important person, your customer. And I think that's what most people forget. They spend so much time with acquisition, new customers, that they forget about talking to their existing customer and just nurturing that relationship. So what you need to know about building a respectable and profitable business you can be proud of using proven and repeatable methods for sustained results. It's kind of in a nutshell. And at the end of this webinar, if you stay around to the very, very end, I'm going to give you a cheat sheet on how I made $45,000 in my first 30 days with a new online business. No joke. I'm going to show you some stats. We launched it in October, and total sales were 45,000 in our first 30 days. So I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to give you a cheat sheet, a quick start cheat sheet on how you can do the same for yourself. So the rules for today's webinar. This is not about overnight success. This is not a get rich quick with no work program. If you have not started a business, you need to at least have an idea, and you need to be passionate about what you are doing. You cannot expect to succeed if you do not enjoy what you're doing. Here's the reason why I do it. It's my amazing family. So this is actually a picture at my birthday a couple years ago at my place in Burnaby. We had all my family, extended cousins and stuff over. And, you know, I'm an entrepreneur so that I can have freedom. I can spend time with my family and friends. That's what it's about. I put the grind in so that later in life, I have a chance to be, you know, financially free. And I'm getting a chance even now to kind of realize that. So that's what gets me out of bed every morning, to know that I get to spend some more time with my family. If you have that part covered for your own business, whatever gets you out of bed every morning, I can totally help you unlock the floodgates to drive a new revenue for your business. If you don't, I'm sorry, I can't really help you. It's like I'm not here to ignite the fire of why you get out of bed in the morning. I'm just here to foster that growth. So a couple questions. Have you ever felt this way? I'm struggling to stay afloat. I am burning the candle at both ends, yet I can't seem to grow my business. I have a real product or service, and every time I try to generate new clients or sales, I'm underwhelmed by the results, and it leaves me frustrated and discouraged. You know, I know that feeling. You know, just trying something and it doesn't work, and then you're like, why even bother? I'm making money, but I'm working way too much on things I shouldn't be doing. I think every business owner has felt that at some point in time. I've seen other people come in after me and get tons of sales and traffic, and I wonder what they are doing and I am not. So, hey, you've been in business for 10 or 15 years or even 1 year, and then someone just starts and all of a sudden it looks like they're doing really, really well. So what are they doing that you're not doing? What's that secret? Hopefully we can uncover that today. I've been talking about doing this for a long time, but I never actually seem to get started. So procrastination is a killer. I feel like online marketing is essential to my business success, but I can't seem to figure it out and reach my full potential. So if you're feeling any of those, then, you know, you're in the right spot. I think the real problem is that, you know, as a business owner, you're just one person who can't do it all. You're delegating to an assistant and maybe that's not working, or you're delegating to the wrong people without the right training and that's not working. You have tons of ideas, or you go to a seminar, you read online, and then you have this massive list. I mean, how many of you people have this massive list of ideas, but you don't get to implement them all? Or the ones that you implement just aren't enough. I read something every single day, whether it's on searchengineline.com, if it's on my news feed, I'm always reading and learning. So you read tons of articles on how to help, but you really don't know which one to start with, like how to sift through and where to begin. Or you're stuck doing what worked in the past, but it doesn't seem to be working anymore, AKA yellow page ads. You make excuses for why you still are where you are. Oh, you know, it's because of this, or it's because of that, or next year, or I had to go to a wedding, or I got injured, or it's raining. You know, you keep making excuses. You have a tomorrow mentality. Oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. Oh, I'll start dieting on Monday. Oh, I'll wait till January 1st. You know, today is the day. You have no one to mentor you. So you're trying to go it alone. You think you know. I think that's the biggest Achilles heel as an entrepreneur, is you think you know. You want to take these risks, but sometimes that coaching is very, very important. You have a 97% mentality, and we're going to get into what that means in a little bit. Okay, so quickly, who am I and why am I here talking to you today, and how am I qualified to be talking to you today? So let's talk about that. This is a picture of me on my high school basketball team. And this I've sifted this out from the yearbook, I guess. I played for the Terry Fox Ravens in Port Coquitlam. And yeah, that's kind of where I grew up. I'm from there. My family raised me there, and my mom's a teacher. My dad worked for a gas company. You know, just humble beginnings, going to the public school, and like I took sciences in high school. I did nothing about business. So everything that I'm going to be talking to today was pretty much self-taught and self-learned over the years, and it actually works. So fast forward to today. Here's a quick bio of me. Excuse the cheesy photos, but I just wanted to give you some visual representation of what I've been able to achieve through the exact tactics I'm going to share with you. So that's a picture of me on my boat outside of the Vancouver Harbor. That's last summer. That's me buying a brand new Tesla 2 years ago, which is awesome. That's picking it up just off Powell Street. And a quick summary, over my time now as an entrepreneur, I've owned $3 million businesses, $3 million plus businesses, actually. Right now, I'm currently owning and operating 2 of them, Soul Pepper and Roderick Allen. I got my start with Champions, which is a martial arts school, and at one time was the largest martial arts school in the country. Today, I actually lead digital strategy. Either myself or somebody that's works on my team leads digital strategy for some of the best brands: Indochino, K-Swiss, Tom's, Quicksilver, Virgin America. So I'm people relying on myself and my team to give them the knowledge they need to drive their business forward. I consider myself a world-class digital marketer acquisition expert. The question that I have to answer the most often is, I have this many clients, how do I double or triple it in this period of time? And I really build those plans. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I love business, and that's what I'm passionate about. I've had a chance to speak all over the US and Canada about sales and marketing and entrepreneurship. In my first full year of business, I did $868,000 in sales. Well, I say while taking 5 vacations. I just say that to illustrate that, I travel a lot. I did not put my life on hold by any means. And it wasn't about working hard. I did work hard. I definitely did, but I worked on the right things. So that's what I'll share with you today. I speak directly with Google and Facebook on a regular basis. So we have partnership status with them. And because of that, they tell us how those platforms work. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. I attend events that cost $10,000 plus every year on marketing. And I'm going to share that with you today, just for being here and sharing your time with me on this webinar. So real quick, this is my digital agency. We're based out of Vancouver. We are a premium Google partner. So what that means is, let's say there's 100 agencies. This isn't the exact stat, but let's say there's 100 agencies, 30 of them might be a partner and 3 of them might be a Google premium partner. So we are awarded a status that very few people in this country actually get. And because of that, not only that, we were able to win an award for Q4 of last year. So that's October, November, and December of 2016. We were the top 3 in all of Canada for driving new revenue for our clients. So the entire country, us out of Vancouver, were the top 3 for driving new revenue for anyone who was marketing on Google. We're pretty proud of that. I just wanted to share that with you. So real quick, this is the actual stats. So this is just from November 1st to November 30th. That's just total conversion value. You can see it's just over $2 million there. That's new revenue that we were able to bring in 1 month through the tactics I'm about to show you. Here's an example of one of the clients that came to me. They were doing about $40,000 in sales, ticking along. We launched our program towards the end of October, and it went up to, I guess, like 10x if you really look at it. And in December, there's about $500,000 in sales. Granted, this was retail, and even then in January, which is typically a slow month, it's still significantly above what it was the year prior. Here's another example of a company that we started. We launched our tactics in October. They ticked along from doing nothing to getting about 6,000 unique visitors to their website every month. It's nothing crazy, but still 6,000 is a lot more than 100 or 200 people. And lastly, here's another screenshot of how the tactics that I'm about to get into have basically catapulted the amount of people that are visiting your website. We're talking about between 500 to 1,000 visitors, now getting up to 20,000 visitors plus on a single day. Okay, so let's get into it. The 8 secrets to online marketing I'm going to go over with you today. 1, memorize the secret client getting formula. Okay, what is that client getting formula? So it's the same thing that you can copy and paste in any single business, and it works every time. 2, how to get a boatload of free traffic. So how are we going to talk to Google, and Google is going to give us more traffic and prioritize us above other people in search listings. 3, building your list. What is a list? We're going to talk about that. 4, how to nurture prospects while you sleep. 5, how to double, triple, or even quadruple your conversion rates. Great. So your phone rings 10 times. How do you get 3 customers or 4 customers or 5 customers instead of just 1 customer? That's what we're talking about. Get existing customers to spend more and more with you each month automatically. How to automate getting customer reviews. And ultimately, at the end, it's just a mindset shift on how you should be thinking about all this sort of stuff. Are you a person who thinks, is this what you say? I don't want to spend money on that. I don't want to spend $500 or I don't want to spend $100 on that? Or are you a person who says, yeah, I'm willing to invest $500 because I know that this is what it's going to do for my business. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. So secret number 1, memorize the secret client getting formula. Here you go. It seems simple, but it's true. Traffic plus conversion plus lifetime value equals money for your business. It's that simple. Okay. And we need to focus on those 3 different pillars at all times in order to maximize the amount of revenue that's coming in. Most people focus on just 1 out of the 3. Okay. So if we look at traffic for a second, what sort of traffic sources can we drive to our website? Through SEO, so that's search engine optimization, through paid advertising, Google AdWords or Facebook ads, display marketing, social media, all these different channels that we can actually push traffic to our website. So when you look at your business from a traffic perspective, you're like, how are visitors finding me? What am I doing to drive this traffic to me? And at the end of this webinar, I'm going to send you a cheat sheet on how you can fill this in and how you can give it to your staff or yourself, and you can follow it. And that's going to help kind of push you towards those revenue numbers you're looking at. The second part of that is conversion. Great, now I've sent somebody to a website, and I'm going to show you some examples of websites today, and chances are one may look just the way yours does today. Is what is your website doing? What's your website telling a customer? I'm going to tell you what a customer does when they go to a website, what their behavior is. And if you know what their behavior is, then you can adjust the way you tailor the content on your website to get that person to do exactly what you're looking for them to do. So we're going to talk about that on the conversion piece. All right. The third piece is lifetime value. That's what I mean is, how do you get someone to shop with you over and over and over again, not just once? You know, if they use your services, they're going to come back and you're going to continually talk to that customer and get them to spend more and more money for you. And it's a lot easier to get somebody who is already familiar with you to pay you again than it is to go and find somebody new to come back and pay you. So I think it's that mindset that it's important to understand. We're also going to work on how to automate that follow-up. We're going to talk about getting 5-star reviews from them, and ultimately how to create those people into raving fans for your business. So how does this work? Okay, so this top line here says, look, I have 100 visitors that come to my website. I'm going to convert 1% of those to either buy my product, to pick up the phone and call me, or to submit an email address. And let's just assume that one of those conversions is worth $100. That would give me $100 to my business. So there's 2 ways to double your business. 2 ways. 1, I can double the traffic. So if I only focused on traffic, I get 200 I would get 200 visitors to my site instead of 100, and I ultimately end up with $200. The other option is, let's say I do no advertising whatsoever. I don't drive any new any new traffic to my website, and I just train my website or my salesperson to convert a little bit better. So instead of signing up 1 out of 100, they sign up 2 out of 100 for the same amount of money. And that gives me $200. Ultimately, we'd like to be able to do all 3, which is the really bottom line is, I want to get more traffic to my website. I want to convert more of those people. So I want to make my website convert better for me. And then after I convert them, I want to continue to talk to them so that they're going to spend a little bit more with me over their lifetime. So you can see just how focusing on these 3 pillars takes you from going from $100 from a person to $800 just by focusing on the 3 pillars individually. So how do we focus on that first part, the traffic? How do we get boatloads of free traffic? I love boats, so I always use that term. How do we get boatloads of free traffic to your website? I've talked to countless business owners who say, I built this brand new website. Oh, I'm investing in this website. When I launch this website, it's going to be amazing, and I'm going to make it rain for my business. And I'm always like, look, if you build it, they will not come. You know what a lot of people don't know is that when you build a new website, it's like a house. If you want to move your house, think about lifting the house up that you live in and moving it somewhere else. Like, is that easy or is that difficult? In most cases, that's like impossible to do. So like, it's the same thing with your website. You have all this existing traffic. Just because you launched a new one doesn't mean that it's going to be better. And you need to make sure that you talk to Google and tell them, hey, I'm moving the site, and tell them where it's going to. Because if you don't, you're going to lose all of the traffic that you built up. So real quickly, this is what a search engine results page looks like. Okay, so I did a quick search, ICBC lawyers in Port Coquitlam. 4 ads popped up at the top. Okay, below that, those are called the local listings. Okay, and if you notice, there's 4 ads and 2 local listings, and that's it. I don't see anything else yet. So how many times do you click on the first thing that you see on a search engine? Just think about that for a second. So if you're not here automatically, you're already in trouble. Below the local listings is something called an organic listing. So that's for SEO. And I actually shrunk my screen when I took the screenshot so that I could show more listings. Really, it was only showing about 3 or 4 people. So if you're not in the top 3 or 4 SEO, if you're not on the local listings, or if you're not on an ad, the chances of you getting clicked and going to your website are very, very small. Here's actually a click test result. So what does that mean? This is where the percentage of clicks go to. So 21.5% of people click on the local listing. That's that little map. You know, when you go to Google and you search for something, you see the map listing, that's called a local listing. 21.5% of people click on that, okay? 39.5 people click on the organic listing, which is this yellow screen. 30% of people click on the paid advertising, which is that top screen. So let's stay here for a second. If 30 people click on the ad, 21% click on the local listing. That means half of people click on here. That means by default, if 10 people search for, let's say, if you're an ICBC lawyer in Port Coquitlam and you're not advertising and you're not in the local listing search, you only have access to 5 out of 10 people that search. And that goes for every business anywhere. So that's just giving you guys an example of why you need to show up in multiple places on the search engines. So local searches in particular lead to 50% of mobile visitors to visit stores within one day. So if I search for something, if I search for pizza parlor Vancouver, that Vancouver makes it a local search. I'm going to visit that 50% of the time. 78% of local mobile searches lead to offline purchases. What does that mean? That's almost 8 out of 10 people after I search, I'm going to come and buy it in your store. 76% of local searches result in a phone call. So if I'm searching for something, you're not popping up, and I'm 7.5 out of 10 people are actually going to make the phone call. That's going to be going to your competitors if it's not coming to you. So this is called the 3-pack. Okay, Google will only put 3 local listings available, and you'll see at the bottom it says more places. So if you're not in these top 3, do you think you're getting clicked? It's my question. The answer is no, you're not getting clicked. These 3 people are going to be getting clicked first on the majority of the time. So how do we show up here? So quickly in the chat box beside you, tell me if you would like to show up in these top 3 places in local listings. You see, of course. You can actually tell Google that your site exists, number 1. So there's a place called in Google Search Console. And if you stay to the end of the webinar, I'm going to send you all these slides so you don't have to take all these notes down. But you go to google.com/webmastertools/tools/submit. You can actually submit your website to Google. You can say, hey, this is where I am, and that's what you want to do every single time if you haven't done that yet. You can also do that for Bing. You can do it for Yahoo. You can do it for every search engine that's out there. Just go to Google, type in submit my site to search engines, and all the links will pop up, and you literally copy and paste the URL of your website into these different places. Automatically tells Google, hey, you're alive. The next part is claiming your business page, which most people don't even know what that is. Okay, so if I kind of shoot back here for a second, all of these are business pages. So McComb, Wheaton, Tim Luce and Company, that's their business page. I did another search for ICBC lawyers in Port Coquitlam. If you notice where the arrow is for William J. Harris, it doesn't even have a website. So I clicked on that and it took me to this. It says Google, first of all, is recognizing that there's a website, but it's not giving a lot of weight to it. So there's an option there. It's a purple button in the middle. It says, do you own this business, question mark? First of all, immediately, every one of you that are on this webinar need to go and do this immediately. Go Google your business, click on the local listing if it exists. If it doesn't, make sure you go to google.com/business and submit your business. Okay, and these are the steps you take. You confirm your business. So you're gonna have to authorize that you're the person to manage it. So just click the checkbox, then you hit continue. Then you put in your phone number. They're gonna send you a text message, okay? Or you can get a phone call, a text message. They're gonna text you a code. Once you take that verification code, you're gonna put it in here, and you're gonna hit continue. After that happens, so you just verified that it's you, but now they're gonna send you a postcard in the mail. And that postcard is going to have another access code on it that once you get it, this is the way that Google, circumvents people trying to game the system. It's going to come to your business address. Once you get it, you need to come back into Google and put that code in. Once you do that, you have officially verified your business with Google. And now you're going to be automatically put into the local search engine listings faster. And this is kind of what happens. This is what you'll see show up at your door. And it says in 1 to 2 weeks. So if it goes 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks, it doesn't come, then you can actually contact Google, or you can resubmit and ask for another postcard. Okay, great. So another way that people are selecting on these listings in search is through 5-star reviews. I mean, how many of you guys use a review when you're looking to buy something or looking to do something? 88% of consumers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. So think about that. 88% of people trust a review as much as if it was like a friend referring you to something. That's crazy. Also, Google reviews are responsible for nearly 10% of your local search rankings. So what does that mean? If you just want to show up higher when someone's searching pizza shop Langley and you want to show up higher, 10% of the reason is just because of the reviews. So let's go out and talk about how to get reviews. I mean, again, another illustration of why it's important is recently I went to watch this movie called Get Out, and I looked at Rotten Tomatoes. I actually don't watch a single movie without going to Rotten Tomatoes first, which is, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Rotten Tomatoes, it's a review site, and it tells me what people rated it. So for me 2 hours for me is very important. So if I'm going to invest 2 hours in a movie, I want to make sure that I'm going to get the most bang for my buck. So I check this out. And if you look down the left-hand side, you'll see how like some have low ratings. Do you think I'm going to ever sit there and watch 50 Shades Darker with 9%? Not a chance. Not a chance. However, the Lego Batman movie, which I typically probably wouldn't lean towards, has a 91% rating. I actually might, if I'm bored, I have nothing to do, I might check that out. So this is just an example of why the reviews are so important. Great, we all know that reviews are important. Now, how do we get reviews? Here's a template for you, a custom review template. This is what you can send to anyone who's bought from you or has used your services. Hi, Jane. I wanted to thank you for being such a great client. So, or if that's a customer or a student or whatever. You have always supported my business, and I really appreciate it. I was hoping you'd be willing to share your story in a review. That's a link to where they need to do the review on how my company helped you with my industry. So I was hoping you'd be willing to share your story in a review on how my martial arts school helped you with your martial arts training. If you could please spare 2 minutes, I'll be forever grateful. Thank you in advance for the consideration. Cheers, Sean. P.S. I wouldn't be upset if you left a 5-star review. Okay, so that's a template that you can copy and paste right now and send it out to all your customers. Right away, even if you get a 10% response rate and you had 100 customers at some point in time, you're going to get 10 new reviews on your page, which is automatically going to bump you up. Here's another template. This is for somebody who's really busy. So somebody who's really busy, you know what I do? I write the review myself. I write the review myself, and I just ask them to say it. I just ask them if they're okay to say it. So, hi, Jane. Since you've told me how much you love the pizza that I make, I have a small favor to ask. Would you be so kind as to leave a 5-star Google review on our Places page? If so, I'd be forever grateful. You can post it here. Here's a link to where they go. If the link doesn't work, you can go to Google, search my business, and then post a review there. Thank you so much. Here's a sample review you can work from if it helps. And then I just wrote a sample review that you can use. I really need to get back in shape, and I decided to go to Sean's Martial Arts School to provide me with kickboxing training. I could not be happier with the service and benefits he helped me by helping me get back into shape. I am now fitter than I've ever been. I consider Sean's school the best in the business. If you're looking for martial arts training, I would not hesitate to recommend Sean's martial arts school to anyone looking for an expert in martial arts. So this is a quick template that you guys can take. You can adjust it and send it out to your entire list. Here's another version. So let's say you have multiple locations. You could be like an auto body shop, or you could be a self-storage shop, or you could do like contracting different locations. Hi, John. Thank you for visiting us at our website. We really appreciate your business and value as a customer. If you were happy with what you just bought from us, we ask that you please leave an online review for our business, helping us share our great product with others. And these are links to different places they can go and review. So they can review you on Google, review on Facebook, review on Yelp. They all help, guys. They all help. If we did not meet your expectations in any way, please leave us your feedback, as we'll be sure to address this and improve. And there's a link for them to give you feedback. So, hey, why aren't they giving you a good review? Give me some feedback. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Sincerely, Sean. P.S. If you review us on Google, Facebook, and Yelp, you'd be a rock star. So I'm just giving them a kind request that they could do a review on all 3 sites, because that would be amazing. Okay. Here's a quick app that you guys can use also. It's called get5stars.com. This is a software. If you're looking for something a little bit more robust that can do it all for you, I recommend using my templates that you can just quickly send out for free. But if you want to do something a little bit more advanced, get5stars.com isn't a bad way to start. If you have an e-commerce store and you sell products online, product reviews by Shopify is a great plugin in the App Store that you can use. If you want something a little bit more robust, there's companies like Bazaar Voice, Yotpo, and Power Reviews. Those people can automate and do some pretty cool things for you if you do run an e-commerce store. This is an example of one of my clients, Luca and Danny. They're on the East Coast in Rhode Island. This is one of the things they send out for product reviews. If you go to their site, they have 5-star reviews on everything, and there's hundreds and hundreds of them, and it really helps their conversion rate. And all of these go out automatically after someone buys something. So the takeaway here is, remember that Google loves reviews. So always, always, always ask for reviews. Use the templates, set it out. I'm going to show you in a minute how to send them out automatically. Warning, don't fake it. Google can tell. So if you go home and you ask your brother, your cousin, your wife, your sister, your uncle to do a review, and especially if they're all on the same place, Google can tell. So don't do that. Okay, you want to go after authentic reviews. That's the way. That's the way for this to go down. Okay, next secret: build your list. So let's jump right in. I had a client one time. He is an he run an X investment firm, and we had a conversation, and he told me this. He said, I always told my employees that if somebody breaks in, just leave the money on the floor. Make sure you put all of the names and our leads in a safe. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, because the leads and your customer names are the most important thing. So constantly building your list is something that I really encourage people just to start thinking about. Because once you have that list, we can market to that list for forever and ever and ever. So when traffic comes to your website, you must capture those who are not ready to buy. So great. Remember earlier that example, I said 100 people visit your website, 1% of those people buy. So what if we capture, the 15 or 20 people who are interested but not ready to buy yet? So how we can do that is with a free quote, a free resources, or an ebook. So we have to offer something to people who are just not quite ready to buy yet. So there's 3 steps to doing that. One is we have to produce valuable content. So look, if you are a plumber, what sort of content can you create if you're a plumber, you have a plumbing website? Think about it. Maybe you can create like a free 10 steps to do it yourself plumbing guide. I don't know. There's a couple different things you could do there. If you're a realtor, it'd be like how to buy your first home, So we're going to create some content. Then we're going to put that on our website, and we're going to trade that to somebody. So we're going to say, hey, if you give me your email, because I want to build my list, I'm going to give you this free contact that's going to be massively beneficial to you, and it's going to provide a tremendous amount of value for you. The third thing was we want to manage that in a CRM so that we can keep track of all these people and all these customers that are coming to us, not on an Excel sheet, not on a piece of paper. We want to have this somewhere so that we can automatically talk to them every single month. So first step, produce content. Here's a great example. This person is a plastic surgeon, and they wrote a book. It's called Dr. Cleven's new book is here. It is the must-read guide for anyone considering facial plastic surgery. I'm not considering facial plastic surgery, but if you are, which I think is kind of a big deal, I might want to read this before I actually start. Chances are that what I'm going to learn in there is going to make me want to go with the guy who wrote the book, who's Dr. Clevens. So Dr. Clevens gives this book away on his website for free. You get the book, you read it, you're going to be much more likely to convert in the long run. Here's an example for a realtor: 8 essential house hunting tips for home buyers in pick a market. 8 essential home hunting tips for home buyers in Pitt Meadows in Maple Ridge. You write this, it's free, you give it to them, your chances of getting new leads and prospects greatly go up. Here's some content examples we talked about briefly earlier. 10 fatal mistakes to avoid when choosing a insert profession here. 10 fatal mistakes to avoid when choosing a contractor, when choosing a plumber, when choosing a lawyer, when choosing a doctor. Like, what do you want to read that first before you actually select somebody? Give that away. 7 tips to making the right industry decision, making the right martial arts decision, digital marketing decision, business decision, coaching decision. The homeowner's guide to do-it-yourself trade. The homeowner's guide to electrical, to plumbing, to cleaning, to grass cutting. Whatever it is, you can put it in there and give it away. When you know you need an industry professional. So when you know you need a certified electrician. So you're giving that guide to a customer, chances are they're going to be saying yes, 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 and agreeing with everything you're saying. They're going to pick up the phone and call you much more likely than if you did not do it. So people are like, how am I going to create this content? If you want, there's a great place called go.com. So that's go.media. If you go.com, you get people to create the content for you. So you can actually pay people to write it for you. And it's called ghostwriting. So anywhere, you could probably get some content pieces as low as $25. For more robust, it's probably going to cost you about $100, maybe $200. And now you have a piece of content that you can give to every single person that comes to your website, done by a professional writer that does ghostwriting for you. So you can actually put your name on it and say that you wrote it, but you're actually going to influence them. So this is a great way to get content quickly, relatively inexpensive, up and going. Another way for you to get people to help you is a place called Upwork. Upwork is a great freelancer resource. So if you're looking to hire somebody, so not even if you're looking to hire somebody, if you need help for a certain thing, but you don't need to hire a whole person, go to Upwork. If you need 10 hours on a project, 5 hours on a project, or maybe even just like 7 hours a month, Upwork is a great place to go search the world for freelancers, of people who do this stuff, and they're really good at it. They're professional. And because they are good at it, and they chances are they work from their laptop anywhere, the onus is on them to do a great job for you so that you hire them again. It's a little bit different than an employee that you just pay and they have sick days and all that sort of stuff. You can turn it up or down at any time you want, and they work really hard for you. Okay, so you have to pick and choose who you go with, but Upwork is a great destination to find freelancers. Great, so now we've created the content, now we have to capture the lead. Here's an example of a pop-up selling makeup, I believe. And you put in your email and you get $10 off. So why wouldn't I want $10 off? Do I want to pay full price? No. So I'll give you my email for $10 off. But there's an exchange. I had to give them my email. I had to give them $10 off in order to get their email. So that's just one thing, quick thing to look at. Here's an example of actually our furniture site. Somebody comes to the website, we have a qualifier. We say, are you creating a space you love? Yes or no. So if they say no, hey, they're gone. But if they say yes, the next thing they see is get updates on the latest in styles and savings, all up to 60% off. Put your name, email address in here. So we're going to send them some updates in styles and savings. Yes, I want more furniture savings. No, I don't want savings. So most people want savings. So our conversion rate on this was actually quite high, especially by adding just the simple thing at the beginning that said, are you creating a space you love? Yes or no. You can do something similar. Like, let's say you make chocolate. The first question can be like, do you like chocolate? Yes. Great. Now that person's yes, the next thing, it's going to be a lot easier for them to say yes again. Finally, we say, thank you. Check your email to confirm your subscription. So these are called pop-ups, and I highly recommend getting one for your website. I'm going to show you a couple tools to get them. Sumo.com is one, justuno.com, and hellobar.com. These are quickly to integrate. You don't need a pro to integrate it at all. And some of them, they even have free options. So they're not going to cost you any money. I think paid subscriptions for some of them start at like $9 a month. $9 a month that you're going to increase your conversion rate by 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x sometimes, just by having and managing some of these promotions on your website. Great, now we've got these leads, what do we do with them? Okay, we're gonna manage them in a CRM. Okay, so first question is, what is a CRM? Customer Relationship Management, CRM, is an approach to managing a company's interaction with current and potential future customers. Basically, it's a way for you to manage your customer database. So instead of putting in an Excel sheet or pulling in whatever, like chances are your business might even have a software. That's kind of what the CRM does. So you're able to separate who are my leads, who are my prospects, who are my customers, who are my former customers, who is my vendors, who is my staff. You're able to separate everybody out separately and then send different communication to each one of those lists, because obviously you're going to talk to a current customer differently that you're going to talk to a prospect. Do you want to send a 50% off coupon to somebody that's already going to pay you full price? Probably not. So it's important that you make sure that you segment your list, and the way to do that is in a CRM. So some CRMs that you guys can use real quick if you haven't used one before. One is called Infusionsoft. I highly recommend it. I mean, if you're interested in Infusionsoft, hit me up, shoot me a private message, because I can get you a discount. HubSpot is another one, which is a little bit more robust. So I think if you have more employees, that might work. Campaign Monitor is one that's probably better for more like a sole proprietor, where you have it's more entry level and less expensive to kind of get started. There's also something called Sugar CRM. There's some free options out there. Streak is another one I didn't put on this list that is integrates with Google Apps, and it's free. Streak. So it's an app that you can actually, extension that you can actually install into your Gmail inbox. Okay, secret number 5. Let's talk about conversion rates. How to double, triple, or even quadruple your conversion rates. So here's a current client of mine. His name is the lawyer, BC. He came to us in the fall, and what his website looked like before he came to us. And he's like, look, I'm dealing with these people right now. I'm paying them lots of money, and I'm just not getting a whole lot of traffic or traction. So the first thing, website. So I mean, the question that I have to all of you right now is like, when you see this website, what's the goal? What's the goal of this landing page? When I asked him, he said he wanted a phone call. The first thing I noticed is I don't see a phone number anywhere. I'd have to click a button. So if we want a phone call, we want to make it incredibly easy for somebody to call us, okay? So now I'm like, look at your own website. What do you want the person to do when they come to your website? Is it clear? Is it clear the minute they land on their page? That's the question I have for you. So chances are no, but this is a way that we can address that. So what we did for him is we created a new landing page. So phone number is at the top right, because that's where the eye travels. There's a phone number in the middle, and at the bottom right, it says, hey, if you're not ready to call me, put your number in and I'll call you. So just 3 quick examples of phone call, phone call, phone call. And we saw, pretty big improvements, which I'm going to show you in a second. Let's say that the person sees this and they're like, you know what? I don't really like this. I'm not ready. And they go to leave. There's something called the exit intent technology. So that means as your mouse starts to go up to the left-hand corner of the screen to hit the back button, or if it goes to the X to shut down the window, and it says, hey, maybe you're not ready. Let me call you instead. I am here to answer any questions you have. So this pop-up alone helped save an extra 10% of people just to jump in and give us their email, just by having that pop-up as someone went to leave the page. So where before he was getting under 1% conversion, now we're getting between 40 and 50% conversion rates. So think about that. You have 10 people that come to your website. Before you're getting maybe 1, maybe 0. Now you're getting 5 without spending a single more dollar on advertising. So dealing with your conversion is actually very, 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 very important. Here's an example. If you're a plumber, just something simple. This is the landing page. Licensed, bonded, and insured, professional plumbing, request service, submit form. And that's all we want. Okay, we did the same thing here for auto insurance. As an example, it's the same thing. You know, it's crystal clear of what you want that person to do. You don't need to give them a ton of information. Your whole goal here is just to get them to sign up for a quote. We also did it here. Here's another example on personal injury. So landing page builders, which help create pages like this. Okay, just if you want to create a similar page and even have some of this pop-up technology that we talked about before, you can get a landing page builder, leadpages.net. So there's some free templates there. You can go to Unbounce. It's actually a Vancouver-based company who create landing pages. HubSpot, a little bit more robust, but if you're using them as a CRM, HubSpot is a tool you could use. And finally, WordPress. WordPress has many different options, as well as something called opt-in skin, which once it's set up, it's pretty easy to navigate. But lead pages and Unbounce are going to be the easiest ones that, you know, like very little skill set can actually do. So steps to convert. Have one main desired action per page. So remember the example before with the lawyer, there was a phone number. That's what we want. We just want that person to have a phone number. We didn't want them to request a quote. We didn't want them to download this, do that. We drove everything just to that phone number. You want to have all that information above the fold. Above the fold is the area that you see when you land on a website without scrolling at all, just the area you see when you land on the website. Finally, you want to make a compelling offer. So, you know, hey, like, remember, put in your email and get 10% off. Put in your email, you're going to get a free home buyer's guide, whatever that is for an offer. And lastly, if you have a guarantee, that's even better. If you can provide a guarantee to somebody, that's something that will help you along the way as well. Free tools to help manage the behavior on your website. This is called Google Analytics. If you don't have this, go get it. If you have it and don't look at it, start looking at it. Google Analytics should be on every website, period. You put it on, and all it does is say, it's going to tell you how many visitors you have in your site, where do those visitors come from, who are those visitors? Are they men? Are they women? Are they teenagers? Are they adults? Like, who are they? And then how are they on my website? Are they on a phone? Are they on a desktop? Are they on a tablet? It's pretty interesting, and it's going to start to tell you some stuff. So if you've ever been asked, hey, who is your customer? Go check out your analytics to see if that's matching who you think is actually searching for you today. Secret number 6, get existing customers to spend more and more with you each month automatically, okay? That's called automation. Remember when I said it's all about your list? Now we email them, okay? This is through automation. First, does email marketing really, really work? So I'm gonna show you a couple examples. So this is a client, this was, what's the time period? November 1st to November 30th, that's actually this year. This is one person's Google Analytics. You can see that the top line, they generated $439,000 in the month of November from email alone. I would say it works, not just works, it's the best one by almost 20, like double the next closest one. Here's another person who's not quite as big. They did $684,000. Actually, they're bigger, but email wasn't the main driver, but they did $684,000 in 1 month from email. Now this one's a little bit smaller. They drove $33,000 from email, but still top 3 for driving revenue to the business. And you know what? That email is going primarily to new customers. Sorry, to existing customers, primarily to existing customers. So if you're not emailing your existing customer, you're automatically losing that. You're automatically losing that revenue just by not talking to your existing customer. Great. So how do we do it? Automate your marketing. Something called a post-purchase series. So here's a post-purchase series template. First, before I start reading this, what is a post-purchase series? Someone buys something from you. Do we just say goodbye? Or are we going to send them something so that they can buy some more from me? Okay. So this is an example of how we can automate a post-purchase series so that someone buys maybe twice, maybe 3 times. Maybe they spend an extra 20% or 30% automatically just by sending them a few emails. So here's the first template. Hello, and then you can put first name. Hello, John. Thanks so much for shopping with us. You recently bought a, I don't know, a scroll saw. I hope you enjoyed your experience with me. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me directly should you have any questions and then I put my email, Sean at, isellscrollsaws.com. In the meantime, if you like the scroll saw, you may also be interested in this power drill. Cheers, Sean. Total random example, but this is a good template that you can use for whatever you're doing. So this would be the first email in the series. Then maybe 5 days later, maybe a week later, maybe 2 weeks later, I send them this. Hey, John, it is my personal mission to give all of my customers exactly what they are looking for. That's why I recommend that you check out this power drill. People really like this power drill because it is, and then any description, any benefit of that power drill. If you have any questions about it, please don't hesitate to let me know. I can be reached at, here's my phone number, cheers, Sean. So let's say that you're selling a service and not a product. I don't know, let's say you're a plumber. Hey, John, it's my personal mission to give all of my customers exactly what they're looking for. That's why I recommend that you check out this, I don't know, special caulking gun because they need to do something again. Please, people really liked it because it maintained the work that I've done for the years and years to come. If you have any questions about it, please don't hesitate to let me know. I can be reached at this number. So this really can be tailored to whether you're selling something as a product or whether you're actually selling a service. If you're a barber or if you're a hairdresser, this could be selling somebody shampoo. This could be selling something hair cream. Third, I know I've emailed you a few times about this hair cream, so I'll get straight to it. Everyone I spoke to about this hair cream loves it, and now it's flying off the shelf. I wanted to give you a last chance to pick up this hair cream before it's gone. I don't think that will last past the weekend. Or if it's a service, I won't have any spots left. I hope you don't miss out. Cheers, Sean. P.S. There is a guarantee that I'm 100% money back guarantee in case it's not what you were expecting. So I'm trying to make one up as I go, but really this is a template again that you can use. And these things typically work well in threes. So I send them once as an info, 2 as a reminder, and 3rd as a last chance. You put this into whatever tool you're using, your CRM or your email marketing tool, and it's automatically going to send out to your customers. So you don't need to do this. You set it up once and it's going to go to every customer automatically. So tools that you would use to send that out. Number 1 is MailChimp. It's free to get started if you're not using it already. Okay, so you can just go to MailChimp.com and they have different promotions. So one's like $9.99 a month, one's like $30, $50, $100. It gets more expensive the more subscribers that you have. If you're doing e-commerce, I highly recommend Klaviyo. So if you're selling things online, I highly, highly, highly recommend Klaviyo. Again, we're a partner with them. So if you're interested in that one and you want a discount, let me know, but that's great for e-commerce. Campaign Monitor is another solution similar to MailChimp. They have their CRM, and it's probably the entry level, the cheaper price. And Constant Contact is just another example of an email marketing tool. All right, so secret number 7, understanding the 97% versus the 3%. Okay, so what does that mean? I guess I would consider Michael Jordan, Mark Zuckerberg, and Tiger Woods as part of the 3% versus like everybody else, the 97% of people kind of say, oh, this happened to me. The 3% of people say, I made this happen. So if we stick with these 3 as an example, what do they all have in common? I think, well, 1, they're probably all very wealthy. 2, very successful at what they each do. And 3, they all had a coach. Michael Jordan had Phil Jackson. Mark Zuckerberg had Sean Parker in the beginning. And Tiger Woods had Butch Harmon, and he's never been the same since he's left him. So all 3 of them relied. They didn't do it alone. They had somebody that was motivating them, pushing them, and helping them along the way. So they did it. They invested in mentorship and they learned from the best. My question to you is, if you went to compete in the Olympics, would you do it without a coach? I mean, I don't think so. So why would you try to take your business to the next level all by yourself? Personally, in the last year alone, I spent over 50 grand on business coaches, mentors, and education to help me with my business. And I'm actually headed to New York in 2 weeks to continue to do the same thing. I'm paying for myself to go to attend a mastermind meeting for 3 days to teach me more about sales and marketing. I quickly wanted to show you this. This is a story from one of the clients that I've been helping, and I've been coaching him.
They don't teach you marketing or business in law schools. Basically, never gotten a hit off the website. I mean, I tried everything. I tried the traditional marketing techniques. I tried, magazine articles. I even had a TV ad, like those cliche lawyer ads, right? Like 1-800-LAW or something like that. But it got me a lot of exposure, but it didn't translate into converting attention into files. The phone wouldn't ring. The previous marketing agency we used, I felt like, they were hungry for work and they had taken on too much and they had a lot of files and they just weren't able to give us a sort of, specific kind of attention that we needed at that time. And I like to know where the money's going, and I like to kind of have, sort of a good ratio of I'm putting in this much per month and I should be getting X many files, right? Their sales pitch was great, but it didn't really convert into results. So you just want the phone to ring and you want the email to come through, which says, hey, I'm interested in a file, got in an accident, have some questions, blah, blah, blah. That's what SoulPepper provides. Good company to work with. They give a lot of attention to detail to your account. They treat you like you're part of the family and you're part of their own business. They care about the growth of your business. They touch base with you all the time to see how you're doing, what's working, what's not. The pay-per-click campaign started converting really quickly as soon as we launched it. The phone started ringing within a couple of weeks of me hiring them. Yeah. We're getting about 25 to 30 leads a month. Out of that, we're trying to convert as many as possible, obviously. But so far, look at really good conversion rate of 40 to 50%. My site is organically one of the top sites Googled for personal injury lawyers in the Lower Mainland. You want to make sure that you are with someone that understands how to make the phone ring and how to get the emails to come through. It's good bang for your buck. It's going to make your business grow. You're going to get more leads than you would in any other capacity, usually using traditional methods. I would absolutely recommend SoulPepper for your digital marketing. Yeah.
Cool. So that was Harp. And he's a client of mine through my company. I just want to kind of give you an example of how we've helped him and we've mentored him to bring him to the next level with his digital marketing. And there's one more I want to show you. This is Alex, and she runs a clothing store based out of Gastown, and she also sells clothing online.
Nice clothing, but not the digital side of selling it. AdWords is a bit of a foreign concept. So we were limited to the city, and we were limited to people that actually view us through things like Instagram and our Facebook page. Because even our website at the time had no functionality. It was literally just the logos. Our vision is to be the ultimate luxury marketplace for the fashion hungry. Online, we want to be that marketplace where people can come and get just the best pieces and that have some money to burn and they want to invest in their wardrobe. We wanted to have an e-commerce platform where we could actually market ourselves and show our wares and really show what we're trying to do. If we were going to be able to grow and expand our services and our product offerings, we were going to have to find other markets. In terms of AdWords, branding online, and the very digital side of the World Wide Web, we had no idea. That was foreign to us. It wasn't something we were educated on. I would highly recommend Sean and his team. They do a great job. They're easy to communicate with. So I said, I don't know how to do this. What would my solution be? How do we move forward? And they presented us with a few different options and strategies on how to approach with different budgets in mind. When Sean presented us that strategy and we actually implemented it, we went from a whole lot of nothing, nothing going on, to actually developing a sales market online and having sales and shipping out all over the world. So it has helped reach that client that is looking for something different, but they don't know we exist and that there is another option to another department store. A much clearer path as to what we're spending our money on and why we're spending our money on it. A lot of it was testing out the market first. We've tested the market. We know what works now and we know what doesn't. And he's kept us on track to meet those goals.
Cool. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you a couple of examples of how the things that I've expressed in this webinar have actually worked for people, and how I think it gives tremendous value. So the reality is, I mean, even everything that I've done for them, I can't cover in this 1 hour webinar. So, and even you, about the things that I've written down, might feel overwhelmed with what I've covered, and I've only really scratched the surface of it all. So my question is, would you like to keep the experience going? I have a special offer to everyone who's attended and shared this time with me, so you can get everything that you need to know to get the same results of the people that I've helped and I've just shown you. And and if you act fast, I'm going to give you an exclusive access to me too. So option one, you can go it alone and spend tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars and hours trying to figure all this stuff out by yourself, getting frustrated and potentially wasting 3 to 10 years of your life. Sure, this may seem dramatic, but it's true. Like, you're going to go spend at least another year trying to figure this stuff out that I could teach you right now and save you a whole lot of time. The other option is to learn the proven systems from someone who has not just mastered it, but is doing it every day and recognized by Google themselves as one of the best in the business. So much so that they are willing to support me in helping you. So I'm introducing the Digital Marketing Bootcamp. I decided that I'm going to throw an event and I'm going to help all the business owners and everybody here who's attending this webinar direct in one day. And that bootcamp is designed to whip your business's sales and marketing into shape in just one day. That's what we're going to do. We're going to spend 8 hours together, and I'm going to go over all the systems that I just talked about, including things that we haven't mentioned, and we're going to get them to implement into your business in that day. So what you're going to get out of the bootcamp: one is a mindset shift, a mental reboot, and a roadmap for the next level of success. Great. So how do I need to think about my business in order to take it to the next level? 2 is an actionable plan of how to strategically grow your leads, clients, customers, sales, and recurring revenue by 2 times, 3 times, or even 10 times. So how we're going to get more revenue. The next step is we're going to do a done-for-you sales and marketing models you can implement right away to generate immediate results. I have templates that I will give you at this bootcamp. I'm literally going to give you templates that you just need to put your information in and hit play, and it's going to automatically start driving more traffic, converting the traffic, and ultimately getting more value from your customers over long term. I'll teach you the timeless sales and marketing and persuasion strategies to close more sales. So things that when you're talking to a customer, what you need to say in order to get more business out of that person. Organic, paid, and social media marketing strategies to increase leads, phone calls, and sales. We didn't get a chance to talk about Facebook or Instagram today, but that's really something that I'm going to spend a lot of time on in the seminar. 7-figure sales processes, funnels, and automated systems that attract, nurture, and convert over and over again. A reporting and scorekeeping mindset to know, understand, and track numbers religiously. So making sure that you're paying attention to the right things is very important. It's really easy to get bogged down with like the sea of data that's out there. So we want to make sure that we're looking at the right things. What tools to invest in now, use now, and which ones you can wait on. So like where to invest your money on, what free tools can use versus ones that you really actually should be investing in. Employee selection and training techniques to make your next hire not only the right one, but a thriving one. So, when's the right time to hire the next person? Who should I hire? How should I vet them? Where can I find them? Those are all parts of the things that we're working the bootcamp specifically for digital marketing and sales. Lastly, you're going to get a system to find, qualify, and get high-end customers at a price points you've never imagined. So how can we get high-value clients? That's what we're looking for. Like, how do we get those guys? A structure and guide for growth and scale. Lastly, a big theme of the event is action, implementation, change, and results. So I want to teach you, quite a few things, like how can we get you to go home and actually implement them in your business? Because that's really what matters, to take action. We all have great ideas, but how often do we actually do the ideas that we have? So the goal is to really implement some of these tactics that I'm going to teach you. Okay, so what's at the boot camp? There's 8 different training classes. The first training class is Mindsets, Foundations, and Structure Roadmap. So we have to build a foundation of how to be thinking about this stuff. 2, Search Engine Optimization, a guide to free traffic. How do we increase our traffic? I'm going to spend an hour with you and talk specifically of the things we need to do to your website to get it to show up higher in search rankings and on those local listings we talked about. There's going to be a Google AdWords class, how to grow your sales now while saving money. So the beauty of AdWords, you can get more customers immediately today. So I'm going to show you the tactics to implement so that you're not spending a ton of money on it and you get the most bang for your buck in return. Leveraging Facebook. There's over 1 billion people on Facebook right now. So how do we find the most profitable customer for pennies on the dollar? Like, how do we do it and inexpensively so we can drive traffic? I can't tell you how many people who have said, I've tried Facebook and it didn't work. And then I look at their account, we structure it the right way, just to find out that they were doing it themselves. Then they hired a pro, and now Facebook is their #1 channel for getting new clients. Okay. Conversion rate optimization. We scratched the surface today, but really how to build a website that is a lead and sales generating machine. Like, how do we convert 3, 4, 5 out of 10 visitors on our website. Automation domination. This is perhaps my favorite one, is how to leverage email to market and sell for you while you sleep. How do we get emails to automatically go out to customers to give them what they're looking for so they can pull the trigger on things that we want? Google's there. They're going to be giving a special talk, which is going to be awesome as well. And lastly, the perfect customer lifecycle. How to set your business up to maximize profit. So what does it really look like? I gave you the 3-step process. We're going to get into what an 8-step process looks like, and ultimately, how you can do it yourself, or you can put different pieces of that process to different people in your team, and all that working together is really going to drive sales to your bottom line. 3 main things. 1, we're going to go over high-level concepts, how to understand the stuff. B, action guides, examples, and templates. Tactile. I'm going to give it to you. You can take it and you can implement it and seize the nuts and bolts. If you really want to know how it works, we're going to get into that. So I highly recommend when you come, maybe bring your assistant or bring the person who's going to be pulling a lot of these levers with you, so you can understand the concepts, they can get the nuts and bolts, and together we can make that work. So what you're going to get, the digital marketing bootcamp is typically would sell for $19.97. Assignment handout vault would typically go for $9.97. So what does that mean? I'm going to actually give you a workbook so you don't have to scramble all these notes, which is, this thick book that I'm going to give you that you can take back. It's all the stuff that I use today for my business. You're also going to get 2 mindset mastery books. So those are books that I've read that have helped me change my thinking to be able to provide these results for myself and for other people. And lastly, 2 fully integrated marketing plans. So those are plans that you can take and literally copy and paste it for your business. So you don't have to think. You can just fill in the blanks, and it's going to give you a guide of how to approach your marketing for the next year. That's a total value of $37.88 just from those alone. Okay. One thing to note is that this is not for you if you're looking to get rich quick. Like this isn't a get rich quick scheme. Like you're actually going to have to do some work. 2, if you expect results without any effort. Like if you just want to come and take and throw something at the wall and like nothing happens, and you're expecting in 30 days to revolutionize everything. No, it's going to take a little bit of time, but if you do what I'm telling you, this will provide sustained results for a long time. The 3rd one is if you run a restaurant. Unfortunately, the tactics that I'm giving you aren't specific to restaurateurs, and if you're a restaurateur, I can't help you. Here's what you don't need. You don't need any prior marketing experience. You don't need to know anything about marketing. That's the whole point of the bootcamp, is going to teach you about marketing. Okay, what you're going to learn in 8 hours, you can leverage literally for the rest of your life as a business owner. You don't need any technical skills, so you don't need to be a computer whiz or IT. I myself am okay with computers. I'm not amazing, but you don't need any technical skills. You don't need any existing website or web presence. So as long as you have a business or have an idea for a business, I'm going to teach you what you should be looking at when you're going to create a website. And you don't need a ton of money to get started. So there's lots of free options out there. You just have to know where to look, which ones matter the most. And then it's about investing your time to go after them. The bootcamp is a perfect fit if you, 1, own a business, 2, you do marketing for a business, 3, you want to start a business or are interested in starting a business, 4, you run a practice, a firm, a clinic, or you are a realtor, 5, if you're a contractor, a consultant, or a freelancer, or 6, you just want to learn more about marketing. You just have an interest in marketing. So I had 2 choices. A was to go cheap as possible and try to sell as many tickets as possible. If I did that though, like I would be really forced to stack the value and leave out some valuable pieces. I mean, the other option was required a little bit more of an investment, but in exchange, I could devote my resources and really guarantee your success. So these are some of the people that I've helped quickly. So Indochino, K-Swiss, Palladium, Piper & Plumbing, these are some of the companies that we've been able to help. And I put there's significantly more, but I just wanted to show you a range of the industries that we've been able to support with the stuff that I'm about to teach you in the bootcamp. And if you sign up right now, at the end of this webinar, there's going to be a bonus. Okay, the first bonus is the implementation plan. So great, you get all these tactics, but which ones did you do first? Like, how do you go back and make sure that you implement them over 30, 60, 90 days? So basically, it's like a 90-day plan of what you need to go and do and go get done in those 90 days. That you can wake up every day and you can see, hey, what am I supposed to be doing today? And it will keep you on track. That alone is worth $500. There's also an exclusive private training video. So that's the 5-step lead generation funnel system. So I'm going to send you, so you're going to get a video of, it's a talk that I've done before about 5 steps to lead generation funnel system. So if you're selling multiple unique products, this is great because you can plug and play, and it's going to drive new leads right there. So if I add those 2 bonuses in, now we're looking at a total value of just over $4,500 for this boot camp. So I have a question for you. What's one new customer worth to you? How much? 3K, 5K, 10K, 25K, more? Like, how much is a new customer worth for you? So let's assume that a new customer is worth $5,000 to you over their lifetime. Maybe they come back and spend more and more money with you. You can see why this would be a good deal at $4,600, or even at $1,997 for the general public. But because you invested your time and watched this webinar, I'm offering this bootcamp for the 1 day to attend for just one payment of $297. So everything we talked about today and everything I'm going to deliver in the bootcamp for $297. Now here's what you need to do next. So click the reserve my seat button right now and complete the checkout process. So right on the right-hand side of your screen, and then check your email, and I'll see you on May 13th. So the bootcamp is on May 13th. That's going to be located at the Pinnacle Hotel in Vancouver, and we're going to be running all day long, and we're not going to stop. So make sure you get a lot of rest on the Friday night and come ready to go. And I highly recommend that you bring anybody on your team or your business partner or whoever's doing marketing or sales for you to the event, so that we can get them ramped up with all the information and make sure that they implement everything they come and learn at the event. One thing to note is I offer 100% money back guarantee. So no excuses, money back guarantee. And my guarantee is simple. If by 2 p.m. on the day of the bootcamp, you feel that I didn't deliver the goods to justify your investment, simply talk to my team and I'll refund every cent to you. So you can come and spend half the day there. And if you're like, you know what, this is bogus, I don't believe it, I'll give you all your money back on the spot. So I guarantee my work and 100% stand behind it. So really, this is no risk. In fact, it puts all the risk on me, exposing you to my proven strategies and tactics, worksheets, handouts, scripts, templates, tools, and alumni community, while still giving you the opportunity to say no thanks at any time. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So the onus is really on me to give you tremendous value in this day. Another bonus for signing up right now is I'll give you 1 year access to my private Facebook group. So what does that give you? That gives you access to my team. I mean, and what on my private Facebook group, you can start to ask questions about your business, questions about marketing, and there's somebody that's around 24/7 that can answer any of those questions for you. So hey, you come to the event, you have this, what you came to the webinar, or maybe you even read a blog post and you have a question about it. You'll have access to other business owners in that community, and I think that by itself is worth its weight in gold. Being able to ask another person who is a contractor in a different city how they did something, and now how you can do it and how you can apply it without having to guess and do that trial and error. Or if there's a marketing question, you can ask my team and myself directly, and I can give you an answer. That's an amazing thing. So, but please note that that bonus to my private Facebook group is only for people who buy on this webinar. So if you don't buy on this webinar, then you won't have access to that. I mean, the value is $15.97. I really see the value much higher than that, but I want to make it a little bit more palatable for everybody. The real question for you is it worth gambling a day to check this out? If it does even half of what I've claimed today on this webinar, it will pay for itself. So I'm talking about $297. That's a latte a day for a month. So can you not drink that latte a day for 1 month to invest in your business? That's kind of the question here. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to come check it out? I mean, 100% money back guarantee if it's not working out for you. And I guarantee you, even if by coming to the first class, you're going to feel like you're going to be unlocking the secrets to how to actually grow your business. But if you've come and you've sat there and listened to 2 or 3 classes from me about how to get your website to show up higher on Google, how you can do it yourself, how you can do it for free, how to market yourself through AdWords and Facebook. And if you sit down, you come and look at all that and you still think it's not going to work, I'm actually going to give all your money back. I mean, I don't see how there's any risk in it for you to come and attend the workshop. Not only that, I'm going to give you one more bonus, okay? And again, one more bonus. That's only if you sign up on this webinar right now. If you go and click here and sign up on this webinar, I'm going to give you a 5th bonus, and that's the $1 Million Black Book. What does that mean? I have access over my 10+ years of doing this to designers, link builders, vendors, communities, freelancers, copywriters, web designers, employees, marketers, sales guys. That's all in my Black Book. So I'm going to open that up and give it to you. You may say, hey, I want to start marketing on social media. Who do I use? What do I do? I'll show you who I use. I'm going to give you access to that, and instead of you having to go and try to vet them. So that's really an inside look of that's my personal network that I'll be sharing with you and giving you my $1 Million Black Book. So finally, look, this is all the value that you're going to be getting. Okay, you're going to get the Digital Marketing Bootcamp, which is the day. You get the assignment handout vault, 2 business development books, 2 fully integrated marketing plans, an implementation plan, 5-step lead generation guide, private Facebook group access, $1 Million Black Book access. We're talking a total value of $62.76, and that's all going to be given to you for the $297 to attend the workshop on May 13th in Vancouver. Friendly warning. This bonus offer deadline is at the end of this webinar. So if tomorrow, or when this webinar ends, if tomorrow you come and you're like, hey, I want to buy the program, you're not going to get any of the bonuses. You're going to get access to the event, which I still feel is a tremendous value. And the amount of money that you're going to be able to drive from your business is going to be 10 times that. But you're not going to get any of the bonuses. So to get the bonuses that I've outlined here, all the assignment vault, the business development books, integrated marketing plan, implementation plan, 5-step lead generation guide, private Facebook group, and the $1 Million Black Book, you have to sign up at the end of this webinar. So I see that the countdown timer is going. Bootcamp won't be open much longer, and there is limited space available. So I would highly recommend reserving your seat now, and I'll see you on May 13th. I think the last thing I'm going to leave you with is there are 3 types of people, okay? Those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those are wondering what just happened. So my question to you is, which one are you? Now's the time to take action, and now's the time to take a step forward on your business. And I'm offering to share everything that I've learned with you for really no risk. So I really hope that you join me at the Digital Marketing Bootcamp on May 13th, and I'm able to share everything that I've learned with you about marketing, and I can help impact your business the way I've done for myself and hundreds of other business owners right here in the Lower Mainland. So thank you so much for watching the webinar. I really appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.